Welcome, convention delegates. It is my honor to introduce our next U.S. Congressional candidate for the 3rd Congressional District. You talk about roots. For the last 12 months, and I've been in it for 2 years, this lady works her 10-hour shift at the hospital, and every Tuesday afternoon, she goes back to her hometown of Lincoln, Arkansas, and takes food boxes to 20 families. Every week. We're a team. You don't forget your roots. And I am tickled to death and honored to introduce her. She brings accountability, hard work, and a voice to regular people throughout Northwest Arkansas. I am very pleased, and join me in welcoming Lauren Mallett-Hays.
Thank you, Lou. As she said, I'm Lauren Mallett-Hays, and I'm running for the 3rd Congressional District here in Northwest Arkansas in the River Valley. A little bit of background, I have a bachelor's in business administration here from UCA, and the last time I was on this stage, I will not tell you what I was doing. I have a master's from the University of North Texas in communication disorders. My career has spanned from business to education and healthcare, where I have spent the last 8 years as a speech-language pathologist treating patients following brain injury, stroke, and prolonged intubation. Being a healthcare worker over the last 2 years has been trying, to say the least, and it's also given me a front row seat to how divided our communities have become. Like Lou said, I grew up in Lincoln, Arkansas. It's a very small rural community outside of Fayetteville. And you'll hear me say frequently, it's where your neighbors became your friends, and then they became your family. It was a community where when your dad broke the water line and he was plugging the hole with his finger, your neighbors came at the drop of a hat to help you. It was where you gave up your Saturdays to help your neighbors work their cows just because. It was where your mom dropped everything she could or that she had going on to help a community member make it to Little Rock for a person's dad's kidney transplant. It was where the coworkers of my dad helped him rescue one of his managers with a wooden leg when my dad accidentally set the baseball field on fire. And maybe the moral of the story is if my dad hadn't been so good at breaking things, I wouldn't have known how good my community was. But I would not change it for anything. That sense of community and belonging has been the catalyst to a lot of things that have happened in my life. It's the root of the compassion and the empathy I feel for people. It is the reason I've chose careers where I could give back to others, and it is something that I've always longed for my children to feel. Over the last 2 years, as I became more aware of how divided our community was, I knew that if I wasn't part of some change to bring our communities back together, my children would never know what that experience was like. So I could either passively sit by and hope that things got better, or I could actively be a part of the solution. The solidification for me to run for this particular position came on January 7th of 2021. You're going to hear a lot of people say January 6th was their day that they knew, but mine was the 7th. That was the day that our leadership was afforded the opportunity to denounce everything that we saw on January 6th and bring some unity back to our nation. And instead, they declined and chose to fan the flame and continue to point fingers. My dad's always told me to do the right thing, even when nobody will, and especially when nobody's looking. When I looked around, the one thing I knew that was true was it didn't matter how much good policy we put forward, how much legislation we worked on. If we continued to have selfish people in place of power, we were never going to move our state and our country forward. I recognized that I had a chance to continue to serve my community in a new capacity, the community I call home, the community that I love, and the community that I want to have the same experience that I had growing up. Service to me is about doing the hard work, having the conversations, building the relationships, and be willing to problem solve the issues that every Arkansan is facing. And at the federal level, we are not seeing that, and it's time that we give our constituents a chance to have the opportunity for people to serve them that actually care about them. We are lucky in that we have such a diverse ticket during this next election during this fall, and we need your help so that people know that they have the choice to choose hope, to choose love, and to choose kindness. Yes, we'll take your donations. I'm sure you've heard that all day, but we need your conversational skills and we need your hearts. We're not going to change the minds of voters without having those tough conversations, and we need you helping us to have those conversations so that we can get people to the polls this November. I believe that together, we're going to work together and restore a society that chooses compassion over conflict so that we can restore what a community means to all of us. But it's going to take everyone. I hope you will join us on that mission this year.
And let's welcome to the stage once more Pulaski County Vice Chair Caleb Conrad.